Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for another review. Um, Today I'm here to talk about Jurassic World 3, Dominion, Jurassic Park 6. It's the third part in the Jurassic World trilogy, but sixth film in the Jurassic Park franchise. Universal has, again, shelled out a lot of money to bring these dinosaurs back to life on the big screen. And what should be thought about it? Well, in my amateurish, honest, hopefully fair opinion, I believe Universal has churned out a nostalgic bore. It's big on shiny special effects, and that's to be expected in our blockbuster age. That's good. Big shout out to all the creative people that have put in a lot of man hours and woman hours to make cool looking animals on screen. And also kudos to Universal and the creative teams and everyone in these art workshops who have tried to keep up with concurrent understandings of what science thinks of dinosaurs. That aside, I think the film really is another example of filmmaking by algorithm. How do we trick the audience into thinking they're experiencing something they're really not, and tricking the audience into thinking that the film is more epic or more thoughtful or more feeling than it actually is. And before I get too deep into cutting into this film, um, I gotta say it was a treat. It was a treat to see Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum on screen again. Of course, Sam Neill and Laura Dern shared the screen in 2001 in, what was that? I think that was Jurassic Park 3, which you guys come back and I'll do a countdown of what I think about all the six films so far. And Jeff Goldblum, of course, was in 1997's Jurassic Park: The Lost World. But here they are again since 1993. This is about, what's that, 1920, almost 20 years ago. That's really exciting to see their faces, and to see them on screen is a treat. We are greeted with familiar overture from John Williams, even though he didn't come back to do the music for this one. But when you hear those trumpets, you're very excited to watch certain moments play out. And of course, the cast of the more recent Jurassic World trilogy is here. So you have Chris Pratt, one of the Chris's, he's in here. Dallas Bryce Howard, she's here. And DeWanda Wise, that was really cool to see her. My fiance would look at me crazy if I didn't put in a request that Marvel go ahead and sign her to be Storm, because I feel her on that one. She's got it. She's got cool stage and screen presence. So yeah, let's try that out. But with that being said, the story picks up, I think, 4 years after the events of Fallen Kingdom, which sucked. I'm sorry. Picks up 4 years after Fallen Kingdom, and if you haven't seen that film, there's a cloned little girl story arc that's being raised by Pratt. I keep messing that up. Chris Pratt's character and Dallas Bryce Howard. They're also living with a world that also has integrated dinosaurs inside of it since the events of that Fallen Kingdom movie. And it's what now? And of course, what now? We know what now. And an evil corporation wants to blah, blah, blah with the dinosaurs for reasons, because evil corporation and evil corporate bigwig wants to do evil. That's literally been the plot of, I think, 3 or 4 other Jurassic World movies, and they're not tired of it yet. And because of that, again, this is the algorithm. It's just, this is the pieces. It's filmmaking by numbers. I really want to say positive things about this film.
A few moments later.
I think if you love dinosaurs, it's just cool to see certain things.
2 hours later.
I feel like a lot of these ideas were probably ideas that they were like, oh, what if dinosaurs this, and then this happened? And it was just kind of like a lot of footnotes, and it feels like maybe in Jurassic World 3 or 2 or whatever, Jurassic Park 1 or 2, they wanted to do something and it didn't pan out. So now they have the budget, and they're just kind of getting their wish list of scenes and jamming them together with the loosest idea of a plot because reasons, and it's summertime and we need dinosaurs, and Universal wants to make a lot of money. That's about all the positives I can really say here. I'm excited about the performances of DeWanda Wise. I just think she needs more opportunity to shine. Jeff Goldblum, anytime you put Jeff Goldblum on the screen, he's going to be fun. And they milk it for all it's worth. Sometimes certain interactions don't work, certain scenes don't work, but there's just nothing else to go on there. And because of that, the story feels overly long. The film is already about 2.5 hours long and doesn't really need to be. How they build towards certain action sequences feels haphazard. It means, oh, we've been talking for too long. The audience is getting bored. Let's throw some action at them. However, there is an action scene about maybe a third through the beginning of the movie that's actually really interesting where they're, I think, in Malta, and they have these new type of raptors that they came up with running around the city. And I was riveted. I was really excited about that sequence. If the rest of the movie could have kind of held up with that, we'd be talking different right now, but it just wasn't. Again, I don't like just to be negative about films. I love movies. I want to enjoy them, but it feels like Universal Universal really just wanted to make something, and it feels like Colin Trevorrow just was just getting the job done, collecting a check. It doesn't feel like an inspired movie. It's basically, I think the word I'm looking for is it's telegraphing all of its actions. When certain characters come to screen, they're going to end up together, or that's the bad guy, and I mean it's just all of this stuff is happening. And if I were 6 or 5 or maybe I don't know, 12, this would have been exciting because I remember having fond feelings for Jurassic Park 3, and the older I got, I thought it's kind of stupid, but it was better than this. Fallen Kingdom, which I still feel is the worst Jurassic World Park movie in the series, this suffers from many of the same things where it creates a lot of characters, a little bit too many characters for us to even want to care for. And it's trying to use overture or music. It tries to use, the best way I can explain it is false empathy, things to make you feel for characters that the feeling doesn't really exist. The one thing about Hollywood and corporate big movie structures, they really don't owe us anything. I think because Steven Spielberg in the 80s and the 90s was just so good on capitalizing on nostalgia and awe and whimsical feelings. We believe that there was something more spiritual happening other than money exchanging. Steven Spielberg was just really good at it, and it fit inside of corporate structure. That's a really great thing. But when it's so obvious now, I think we live in a time where we know what's being baited towards us. You're trying to trick me into feeling things, and you're using iconography that I love. This is a visual, therefore visceral betrayal. Stop it.
It is a visual and therefore a visceral betrayal. Stop it.
One of the things about having archetype characters is that if you telegraph to the audience too much, there's nothing. There's nothing to wait for. I know this is the bad guy. I know this guy is going to ultimately get eaten by a dinosaur because he's an asshole. Because I've seen the previous 4 or 5 movies. This is what happens to the corporate bad white guy, right? So I think the concept of following the rich white man that we steal from Rush Hour 2 works here, but you don't really have to follow him because you already know where this is going. It's just a film that is paint by numbers. There's other thing that really, really bugged me about this was that every now and again in the film, whenever they had to go to a new place, somebody just magically knew how to do whatever they needed to do. It's like, oh, we need to break into this tech business, tech global place. Oh, I know how to hack into this mainframe, or that looks just like the system that we used over here, or I know how to do Mission Impossible style martial arts, or, I know how to survive any conceivable situation. The plot armor that exists on people in a movie filled with monster creatures that can eat you is impossible because I don't think there's a lick of blood. Like, things get bitten, people get bitten, but I don't really think, there's just, the dread doesn't exist. The fear that you felt in the original Jurassic Park film, the way that Spielberg was really able to draw out emotion from the characters' performances, you don't see this here. It really felt like they were going through the motions. And I really think that's about all I can say for it. I enjoyed, I would say, about a good 10 minutes of it. I don't think it was awful, but I do think I could have used my time doing something else. So if I'm you, if you want to see big spectacle of the dinosaurs on the big screen, I'm not one to stop you, but I also feel like you could get similar experiencing being at home where you can walk around and text on your phone and do anything else. I'll probably never get hired in Hollywood because of this review, but I'm gonna leave it alone. And that'll be my review of Jurassic Park, Jurassic 6, 7, and I'm going to leave this with Lovey gives it a review of 2.5 out of 5. It's worth the dinosaurs, but it's not worth staying for the people of the plot. It's too long. Thank you once again. If you like what I do on this channel, please like, subscribe, share, follow, leave comments. Tell me what you thought about the movie and come back and see me because I'm going to do a countdown of what I think about the rest of these films. Y'all have a great one. Bye. Okay. Because I feel like if they keep going on, it's just going to be like Jurassic Park 8, Thanos' Revenge. That would be awesome. Like he just shows up and he's like, I hate dinosaurs. And he snaps his fingers.
And then Vin Diesel.
Yes, and then Vin Diesel shows up. Oh, hell yeah. And then
Dinosaurs
dinosaurs go to space. Holy shit.